I don't know exactly how to bring this, but my friend made a locker bundle. Like, my friend made a locker review on his channel. Now, what I've noticed is he was going a bit over the top on some of the stuff he had. You know, and I decided to mimic him and steal his content. Let's get going. So, this is my locker. Most of my skins I really appreciate a lot will be marked in my favorites. Like over here, Groot is something I got max level on. I was grinding all season back in chapter 2, season 4 for this one. What I really like to grind of. For some reason I was really passionate back in the days of that. Then I also remember having a huge grind to like unlock all of the Chimera styles. Fade was my main skin for over 2 years. And then I dropped him and I never really got back to massively using him. Like maybe for like, what, a month or something? Nothing too big. I also had a bit of a phase with the Mizuki skin where I was kind of crafting combos for that. Foundation was fine. 8 Ball has unironically recently become one of my favorite skins for no reason. I do not know why, I just somehow got a spike in that I like it. Of course I got the newest Fortnite crew. It is nothing really too special. If we go down even further, you'll see Lexa, also one of my favorite skins to work with and make combos for. Stray, of course, if you've seen any of my really too big. If you've seen some of my live streams from chapter 4, you'll see that I was a big fan of this skin too. Then down here there's really nothing too interesting. So let's check if we missed anything. If not, takes us a chance to look at all the stuff I have. Nope, nothing. Well, let's get down to the backlinks in that case, if I'm allowed to. Gang, work. It's usually a pretty good idea. So, my backlink has nothing I'm too passionate about. I don't know why I'm stuttering all of a sudden. All I can really remember what my friend tried to like really rub in, and what I'm gonna do now too, is that I have the style activated on this, which you have to do a secret/hidden quest for that was unlisted. What made a ton of people not have that style. So if you have this back bling and think like, oh cool, they have it, check if you have that secret style. Of course, there's a child. Some people like that for some reason, don't know why. Then I have this back bling. What I almost primarily bought the entire bundle for this back bling and the glider that belongs to it because of how great it fit on the Fade skin, what I told you was my main skin for quite a while. Then this one came with the Chimera, like all these options. Also something pretty big. The rest of my back blings, I don't really remember anything too big from these. Well, this is the Jet Set. It was my first ever bought back bling, and it came along with the Mecha Team Leader skin back in Chapter 2 Season 1 is when I bought it. Then there's KO. This was one of my first back blings I ever unlocked, and still one of the ones I'm most proud about. Over here, I don't have all the styles for this because I was really heavy focused on school and was really young back then still. Heck, I can't even remember grinding for that thing. Then you have the Kitsune backbling. I really like this one because of how well it fits on a ton of my skin combos. Especially with most Fox and skins, it goes really well. I mean, it's steamed around, it's what were you expecting. Then let's see, have we missed anything? There's this backbling. I believe 10% of all my combos I made were based around this backbling because I was just bored. That thing was like some kind of mass product for me. And I got the no ghost backbling. I never remembered getting this thing. I just know that I have it. I have no idea where it came from. For my gliders, I have nothing I'm too really surprised or big fan of. I have, of course, this with the purple style. Once again, has to do with the fact that I mained Fate for a while. Then there's also this glider. It really fits well on that. There were a ton of good ones. This of course is that glider I bought for Fate that came with the backbling I just showed you guys. It shouldn't come to a surprise for any of you guys. Except for that, I don't really have any special gliders except for my wind umbrellas. Well, actually there's one I didn't mention yet. So if you look at this, you'll notice that my wins were Chapter 2 Season 1, Chapter 2 Season 2, then I have the Chapter 2 Season 3, and the custom umbrella from Chapter 2 Season 3 if I can find it. I'm not going to be able to find it, I assure you I have it. Then I have the Chapter 2 Season 5. There's a Chapter 2 Season 4 somewhere around here, I'm just too blind to find it. Yeah, I'm just too stupid to... Oh, actually that's in, like, up here in the Marvel category. Now I remember. This was the Chapter 2 Season 4 umbrella. I wasn't too big fan of that. Of course, back to Season 5 for a second. Season 7, I'm looking if I can find Season 6 in here. That... Yeah, weird. Can't find my Chapter 2 Season 4. This is my Chapter 2 Season 8. Of course, Chapter 4, Chapter 4, Chapter 3, Season X. This is also a Chapter 3 one. This was my first ever victory umbrella. You get this one with your first ever victory. It's not talked about enough. Over here is Chapter 4 Season 2. Chapter 4 Season 4. Like, there are a ton of ones in there I really like. But there's one that really stands out to me, and that's this one. The Berserker umbrella. This glider is probably my hardest flex I have on my account. The reason that is because this one was extremely hard to get in a Chapter 2 Season 5 game mode called Bounty Hunters. And I remember like grinding 2 or 3 days straight with the guy who made me make this video, or at least the guy who inspired me to make this video. Since this thing was an insane grind. If you wanted, this is like one of the least talked about rare items, but it 100% is. For contrails, there is never really anything too special in here. But I'll just show it off anyway, because why wouldn't I? For my favorite glider contrail, like, I believe a ton of them are basically just a bunch of random shit go moves. But there are 2 or 3 really good ones in here. I'm looking for some of the good ones right now. Like, this one I used to use for a while, once again has to do with Fate. This is also something I really like, even though I've never used it. This one, quite honestly, my favorite. And I don't know why people never use it. I've completely skipped pickaxes a while ago, so I'm going to go back over these. So, yeah, this shouldn't come as any too big of a surprise. All this stuff in here, it's all fine, I guess. Nothing too big. One of the ones I do want to talk about though is this one, the Basic Basher. This thing, don't mark my words on this one. Oh yeah, you can actually. This one you can only get it if you have saved the world and upgrade your pickaxe level in that. What a ton of people do not know, that gives you a pickaxe for Battle Royale to use for free. It does. That also is the reason I have this one. Of course, it's the default pickaxe. And I have this skin, and I have this one, the throwback axe. This is the Chapter 1 pickaxe. And you can only get it if you bought a bundle via your company store. So you would have to go on PC, you would have to go to the Epic Games Store. And on PlayStation, you would go to the PlayStation Store, Xbox, whatever that's called. I don't know, I don't have an Xbox. I believe back then you couldn't have the Switch connected with. Anyways, also, I have the adamantium claws. These were surprisingly expensive, but also a really good deal. And then there were the X23s, adamantium claws. These things were one hell of a grind to get. I was waiting for like straight up 1 or 2 months to get this one. And of course, don't forget about Darth Vader's metal detector. Felt like calling that one out. Now, I have some good emotes in here. Since most of my V-Bucks go to my emotes, so I'll just kind of filter it out with some of the ones I really bigly use. So if the Thief's Throne, this one is also a really rare item. Because the collab got cancelled at the last minute, and that is because the movie it was supposed to go with got cancelled too. What makes this so like this emote is probably never gonna return. Unless it decides to relaunch the movie, what I do not expect. So let's go straight through our emotes. So you have this one. I'm kind of fine with all of that. Of course, there's the collab ones. Yeah, I'll show it to you guys. Although, yeah, you can't really hear the sound of it because copyright filter, you know. I have a ton of them. I used to collect them. I used to collect Icon Series emotes for quite some time. Then I dropped it. Also, for some reason I remember, like, I know a ton of them that do play the sound even though they shouldn't. Like here, this one does it for some reason. There are a ton of them that like play the sound no matter what you do, and I do not know why. This one plays sound anyway, this one too. Doesn't really matter. Then there's this one. This one gets cancelled out also by the copyright filter. For some reason, I do not know why. That one's just stupid, I guess. Then I have the Hulk Smash emote, that's fine. Once again, this came with the Wolverine's Adamantium Claws. Nothing too big to go over discussion with. If you don't have Boogie Down, I've seen people tell, oh, you bought that or something. Just clarify for anyone who doesn't know yet, you get this for free when you enable two-factor verification with an extra security system for your account and it enables gifting in tournaments. Just felt like making it clear to everyone who didn't know that yet. Boomin', this was an emote everyone liked then forgot. Crowning achievement, it's the last of the season, I'll just show how much I got. I'm not too proud, but hey, it is what it is. Then there's the Cyclo Curl. Also, nothing really too mentionable on here. Exorcism. I don't even know how to say this one. I was about to say Exorcism. It isn't. That's a real stupid name. I'm just not even gonna try to pronounce that. And Forged, this allows you to swap to another pickaxe mid-game. Was the first of its kind that wasn't the Wolverine emote, I believe. There's Springy. I mean, personally one of my favorite emotes. This is another one of those things I do not ever remember buying. I bought this in Chapter 1, Season 8. I do not remember ever buying this though. I know I bought it back then. That's a lie. It came out in Season 9. The listing's stupid. What the fuck? I'm not even gonna try to ask what happened there. Sign Spinner. Personally one of my favorite emotes. You got this one from the Battle Pass just to clear up any confusion to why it's spinning in Victory Royale. So they would have this as like something you needed to get the victory for nowadays. This one, I fun fact actually liked this song a lot, and then it started getting overused like crazy, and then I hated it. Lil Saucer, that once again is from like the Chimera season. There's the Rig Dance, shouldn't need any explanation. I'm just gonna skip the details of that. This emote I actually bought because I thought the soundtrack was pretty good. I'll just let y'all listen to it for a second. Yeah, then this I believe was my first ever actual emote I unlocked. Don't know why. This emote actually confused me for quite some time to what it is. But then I figured out it wasn't a build-in emote. Then there's the dice roll. This one gets talked about a lot because it gives you a random number, just as an RNG system. Double up, the first collaboration emote. Sorry, I just suddenly decided to change language. Follow the Butterfly. This was actually a PlayStation exclusive pack, which you need to get it from. This is one of my first ever emotes I wanted and just decided to never buy for some reason. Then there's the Island Vibes. I bought this in reference to Boy of You. Same counts for some kind of Moon's back bling. What am I saying? Moon's pickaxe. And yeah, that's basically just a huge fan of that. It's a huge fact that I'm like, oh wow, I'm a Boy of You fan. In case you didn't know yet. High five. This was the first ever Saint emote from the Battle Pass. Jaywalking. I believe this was one of the first ever traversal emotes, like second season or something. Jug Band. I've bought this emote, used it a total of 6 times, and then forgot about it. Then there's Kickback. I don't know why I don't have this favorite, but this is a really good emote if you want to like lie down in certain games. Like it can be really good for shooting cinematic shots with. Just a quick recommendation. Well, I can say whatever I want to do about this one, but let's be honest, all my entire friend group recognizes this as the emote Jack Skeleton used to say, have some candy cane. This one actually belongs to the Ronin skin. Well, it used to be the skin I used back when I was creating Valhalla content, in case you're wondering. This is probably my most toxic emote I have in here. If you don't count Take the Alpha, they also have. Of course, you gotta throw out this one when we're talking about emotes. This is still my favorite soundtrack for any emote, though. You can't stop me from recognizing that. Then, this emote just gave me questions, since I do not know what twerp means. It's written on there, I have no idea what it means. So if somebody knows what that means, please explain. And there's the boop emote. Like this boop emote, it's fun, but I mostly use it for this one when no one has interacted with it yet, to like wave people over to you. Once again, really good for shooting cinematics. Right point, never remember buying this, but apparently I have. Dab stand, most forgotten emote by my recognition. There's a hard bust. This actually released this season apparently, which I have never acknowledged. Don't know why I've never. Then over here is another RNG emote that gives you a random number. And this one's the older version. You'll probably see it a lot. Rage Quit. I actually got gifted this one by Dave. Then let's see, is there anything too interesting in there? Yeah, not really anything too interesting though, but these are all my favorite emotes I primarily use for cinematic / RPs. Since I like all of these. These are all really good to just have on hand instantly. For raps, I don't really have anything too interesting. As you can see, don't even have that many of my recents. But I'll just kind of go over it, I guess. I believe I have one that no one really talks about, and that's this one, the Royal Hearts. That's because this was when supporter creator was still experimental. You got this one for being one of the first people ever to equip a supporter creator code. And it was part of a Valentine's Day collab. I have no idea what this is from, but I really like it. The color scheme. I'm gonna check in onto that after I'm done recording. So yeah, nothing really too interesting except for that in here. I don't really have any rare stuff. I don't want to go over my music pack since I don't want to get copyright by accidentally going over the wrong thing because copyright filter is being stupid. Then we're on to my honestly, for somehow favorite, but also somehow least favorite, the loading screens. So this one is one of my rarest ones I've gotten because you could only get this from participating in the Wonder Woman's Cup and getting, I believe, 50 points, what at that time was pretty high for me. Ever since that day, I've never played competitive ever again. Or actually, like, in tournaments. Then there's, of course, the kid Leroy. You don't really have to explain anything. There isn't really anything too big in here. There's just some Marvel stuff. I'll talk about it when I see, like, cool shots that I know references from. But for now, it's nothing too big. All I know is this was the area loading screen. What I had a friend named Yelle, and I used to be insane in area with him. Fortnite, if any officials are watching this, make sure that guy and I get a fucking reference in Ariel if it ever comes back. That would be amazing. Yeah, I don't have any too interesting loading screens still. Well, there's a shark. That used to be my favorite drop spot for a very large time. I believe I used to drop the shark like every single match when the boss was there. I believe it was Chapter 2, Season 2. Also, I think this thingy over here definitely gets my award for probably worst loading screen there is. There are also some loading screens that are just straight on creepy, which I have decided not to show in this. Because I got too creeped out every time I saw them. Because yes, things like that exist. Then there's the Clash. On this season, I actually chose for Ghost because I figured that because white versus black, I figured it would use a stereotypical form of good versus bad with light winning. I was wrong. Apparently, I should say. Then I think there's nothing too big in here. Nope, nothing too big. I'll just kind of show you like all the ones I deemed to be creepy slash just straight up didn't want. So this one with like the disfigured characters. This one was also just too disfigured for me. Just straight up confusing. I'll actually show all of them really quickly. Confusing, 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 weird, confusing, confusing, confusing. Yeah, most of them kind of that. There's also this one that's just kind of out there being weird. This one, for some reason, this creeped me out because of how hyper realistic it needed to be. And with these days graphics, it was, and now looking back on it, there was nothing. This one, I shouldn't have to explain why I find this creepy. I shouldn't have to explain. Once again, misformed characters. It's the one thing I hate. Hyper realistic unicorns. Hyper realistic tomato. Don't even know what that is. Don't even why is that in there. That's fine. The rest in here are just kind of being existence for me. Like here's another one of those really disfigured ones. This one once again disfigured with TNT now. Just not a big fan. I don't know why I got rid of this one. I kind of like that. But anyways, that's everything I have in my locker, which you should know about. And, well, yeah. I don't know how to end such a video. Well, better to get it over with.